How's it going, guys? I'm Cameron with Z1 Off-Road. Today we are here to show you how to install your retrofit kit for your Z1 Off-Road cold air intake system. So first off, what is the retrofit kit? So we've got our bolt together window that's going to be installed. This multi-layer system is consisting of a backing plate, which is going to hold the PEM nuts that the hardware is going to go through. We have a rubber gasket to seal it all up, a new window, and then we have a front panel that's going to go on the front and be a nice bezel that all the hardware is going to go through. We're going to try and make this window a lot more watertight. In addition to that, if you happen to have a supercharger or a snorkel, there have been rare cases of the window getting sucked in, and we want to mitigate any future instances of that. You're going to have a more secure window and a more watertight window at the same time. The other part of this is this new filter grommet. This is going to get installed behind the filter on the intake tube. This is going to keep all the dust and mud out of your intake, and this is going to keep it all off of your filter. So you're going to be extending your filter life as well as optimizing your snorkel setup and preventing anything from getting into the engine. So let's get into it. It's only going to take a few tools. We're going to need to remove the intake tube and the window, and you can do this on the vehicle. You don't have to remove the box. You can if you'd like to, but it can be done on the truck. So let's start and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this clamp that's holding the PCV hose on. This is the supercharged truck, obviously, but this is going to be the same scenario for your regular naturally aspirated vehicles as well. And this will work on D40 and D41 and Xterra. So VQ40 or VQ38. Now that hose is removed, I'm gonna unplug the MAF sensor, set that aside, and then I'll remove the throttle body coupler from the throttle body. And then just like that, we're gonna actually remove this filter grommet as well at the same time, just to make things a little easier. Okay. All right, now that that's off, take this filter grommet, toss that away, not gonna need it anymore, and then we can remove the filter real quick. Okay, so we got the hose clamp on the filter grommet. We're gonna just slide that onto the intake tube. Okay, now that we've got that, we'll throw the filter back on, just like that, and tighten it back up again. And be sure not to over tighten that. And we can slide this back forwards a little bit. We'll tighten that up when it's on the truck in case we need to adjust it, but let's set that aside for a minute and do the window. Moving on to the window, you can just pop this out, remove it, set it to the side. This is gonna go in from the bottom, and then we're gonna put the window right on top of it. The cutouts for these windows aren't perfect, so you may have to trim yours just a tiny bit to get it to fit perfectly. Like that. Okay, and then we're gonna take the bezel, that's gonna go right on top. Make sure you line up all the holes. I like to get it started with the top middle one and then get the bottom one at the same time. Okay, and then now you can just go ahead and install the rest of the hardware. Take our Allen wrench and go ahead and tighten these down. Just like that. I'll go around one more time, make sure they're all tight. You can't really over compress these, but you don't have to crank it down super hard. You got the gasket there that's gonna compress a tiny bit and take up some of that. Okay, now that you've gotten your handprints all over it, go ahead and clean the window if you feel so inclined, and then we'll get the filter installed next. Okay, now that the window is installed, let's put in the intake tube. We have the filter grommet installed like we showed before. I'm just gonna get this seated there. But basically, I wanna get the throttle body coupler installed first, and then we'll adjust that to the right position after. Pull this back just a little bit. Basically, you're just gonna work it into place until that snaps in all the way around. Feel all the way around, make sure it's seated all the way. Now that that's there, I think that's actually in just the right spot. So you want this to be pretty neutral as it sits on the truck. It really grabs onto this carbon, that's great. Almost don't need a band clamp. Okay, now that that's there, we can just take our screwdriver and tighten down the hose clamp and reconnect everything, and we'll be good to go. Now you can see we've got this accordion style bellow in there. That's gonna keep a nice seal to the box and around the intake tube, so nothing's gonna get through there. You're not gonna have that allow any water through at all, ever. Now we can just go ahead and reconnect that and our MAF sensor. Now our intake is perfectly sealed up. It's extra watertight. It is completely impervious to water and dust ingression now. If you want to get one for your truck, go on over to z1offroad.com and get yourself an intake retrofit kit today.